Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Programs for 50 Plus Fall Course Showcase. I'm Mena Caravetta, Program Coordinator for Programs for 50 Plus and Community Engagement. Here at Programs for 50 Plus, we have been offering enriching programming for the 50 Plus community for over 30 years. With an expanding course offering, speaker series, and free events, we are hoping this will be our best year yet. Now, I'd like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. Please ensure your microphone is muted throughout the event so as not to disturb our attendees or the presenters. Also, please keep your video turned off. For the hearing impaired, we have live captioning available, which you can access by activating it in the toolbar at the bottom of your screen. This event will be recorded and shared with you after the event concludes. Now that I've stated formalities, it is my pleasure to introduce Clara McBride, Theater Arts Coordinator, Programs for 50 Plus within the G. Raymond Chang School at TMU. Clara and I will share the role of MC for today. And at this time, I'm happy to hand over the proceedings to Clara, who will introduce her instructor, and then I will introduce the following instructors in our program.
Thanks, Anna. Before we continue, I'm going to begin with a land acknowledgement. I'd like to share, although it is a Zoom and it's a virtual session, people are in different places. I today am grateful to be in Toronto, which is on the Dish with One Spoon territory. The Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, the Mississaugas, and the Haudenosaunee that bound them to share this territory and to protect the land. Subsequent Indigenous nations and peoples, Europeans, such as my own grandparents and great-grandparents, and all other newcomers have been invited into this treaty in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. And as allies, I invite everyone to acknowledge the land that you find yourselves on and to inform yourselves about the treaties that do exist in places where you are from and where you might be going. So thank you for coming today to this information session. As Mena said, we are a part of Programs 50 Plus, and I'm Theater Arts Coordinator of the Act 2 Studio, which is a studio that has a production company and also offers classes. We have a whole range of programming and performance practice. We do playwriting, storytelling, theater, acting techniques, directing, and I have Kate Lushington, who teaches voice play online, who unfortunately had a family emergency. Everything's fine, but could not make it today. And Jimmy Schlag, who I'm thrilled to introduce, who will be giving a few more details about himself, but who will start today to talk about his course. So Jimmy, welcome, and I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, Clara. Hi, everybody. So I live in Toronto. I'm an actor here. I've been an actor for about, trying to figure this out earlier today. It's like 24 or 5 years. I've taught scene study before. I've taught improv before, short form and long form improv. I've studied clown. I've been loads of plays and movies and voiceover and TV. So I'm going to be doing scene exploration, which essentially is going to assign one scene per 2 people for the entire session. And slowly and painstakingly and with loads of play and fun, because for me that's at the heart of it, we'll explore that scene. Now, how will we explore that scene? So sometimes it might be a little bit more tedious in terms of like, okay, what does this mean? What is this person saying? Well, why the hell am I saying and doing what I'm doing? And then other stuff will have probably nothing to do with the scene and more to do with who you are as a person and how you feel in that moment, how you feel in front of people, how you feel with the other person opposite you, how you feel about what they're saying to you, about what you're saying to them. Because a lot of those things, when you first look at a scene, it can be very overwhelming. Where to start, what to do, or you look at a blank page if you're, an illustrator, where to start. So we'll break down stuff like that. But again, primarily it's about fun and play. As a professional, same deal, but especially if you've not done this work, and you've already signed up, you're kind of raring to go and you're excited. Well, we're gonna foster that excitement. We're gonna keep it going, and I don't know. I mean, I just turned 50, and I'm sure inevitably with any one of you out there, there's times where you're like, oh God, like I don't have time to play. I don't have the forum to play. I forgot how to play. I'm scared to play. Like all those things will factor in, and I think we'll have a great time. You get a kick out of it. Open for questions. Anyone has any questions?
Feel free to turn on your cameras if you have any questions for Jimmy about his scenes, or not. Just unmute yourselves if you have questions about scene exploration. We also will have a time at the very end for questions if you'd like. Or you can also put a comment in the chat if that's easier.
Sure. Doesn't have to be, though. It's totally fine. there'll
No
be
pressure.
loads
It's all
of
fun.
questions. Yeah, no
Yes.
pressure. It doesn't matter. There'll be loads of questions, loads of things to explore. I would just say, I would encourage you, like, you're here already, so you have an interest. If you're feeling scared, perfect place to start. Awesome. If you feel like, oh, I don't know what to ask, I don't know what to do, why did I even come here? Great place to start. You're here. Something in you made you make that choice. So that's it. Wherever you are, it will always be perfect in the class that I run, because you got to learn at your own pace. Yeah, whatever. I can talk forever. It's fine. So there's no questions. Totally cool.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Jimmy.
No
Again, if anything pops up, we'll pass the questions in the end. So
Sure.
now I'm just going to read a message from Kate, who teaches voice play online, which is another course that's being offered this fall. Kate has been teaching voice for over 30 years in places such as the Center for Indigenous Theatre. She's been at George Brown in the acting program, teaching at Brock University in the drama department, and as well at the Injured Workers Speaker School, and as a part of the Alexander Technique Training Center program at Susan Sinclair Studio. And if you're not familiar, Alexander Technique is a technique of the spine and of the voice. Kate has used her own speaking voice on a daily basis for even longer as a theater director, solo performer, teacher, mother, and presenter for Vision TV, as well as singing in several community choirs, both in person and on Zoom. She's bisexual, singing both alto and soprano parts. She's currently performing with her daughter, Natasha Greenblatt, outdoors in the park called Apocalypse Play, or A Bundle of Joy. It's a serious comedy about the future where she's learned a lot about staying on voice while using a microphone. You can catch her on stage at Hillcrest Park at Christie and Davenport. It's until this Sunday. I'm actually going tomorrow, so if you might see me there. And it's presented by Common Boots Theatre. I can put if you're interested in, I'll put the link in the chat. So the course Voice Play Online, she communicates that it's one of the highlights of her week. She really enjoys teaching it. You'll meet together to discuss, explore, and develop vocal range and a resonant speaking voice for any situation without strain through playing with sounds and movement and in simple fun explorations that you can enjoy anywhere. You can take the exercises to the shower, walking through the streets, or being in nature, even in the subway. You'll learn to apply your voices to fragments of poetry and of text. So that's some of the exercises that you'll be doing. The techniques offered can be used to prepare for acting roles as well, or for speaking within businesses, speaking within any kind of professional context that you have. Or just for your pleasure to discover your voice. The course is geared towards the needs of the specific people who sign up. So it will be adapted and catered to you if you sign up. And it's open to students of any level. There's always something to learn at Voice Play with useful takeaways, and you play on your own. Also just add that Voice Play is an online course, so it's not in person, it's an online course. If you have any questions about that, you can forward that to me as well, and I'll see if I can answer. So do you have any questions about Voice Play Online or what it might be? Again, no pressure you can put something in the chat, or if you think of something after. Super. Okay, well, those are the two, the information about the Act 2 courses. We do have others as well. You can check out our website, but thank you for coming and showing your interest in scene exploration and voice play. And I'm going to pass it back over to Mena, who will be introducing the other programs 50+ courses that we'll give you some information about today.
Thank you, Clara. Well, it's wonderful to be able to talk a little bit about Sunny Chan. It's a pleasure to introduce Sunny to our writing. She is our instructor for the Writing and Wellness and Wonder course. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of information about Sunny. Sunny Chan has a PhD in English Literary Studies and publishes in the fields of poetry and nonfiction. She has 10 years of experience in university level teaching, and as a writing instructor, her philosophy centers around focusing on the process over the product. She developed the Writing for Wellness and Wonder course specifically for Chang School's Programs for 50+ and has taught 3 iterations of it by now. She loves meeting new people and hearing their unique perspectives through this course. And here is Sunny Chan to talk about her writing course.
Thanks so much, Mena. Pleasure to meet everyone and see you all. So I might have over-prepared for this a little because I did make a slideshow to show you aspects of the course. I don't know if you guys want me to share my screen or if one of you want to do it. How do you want to do this?
They'll be taking over the slideshow. So if you can put that on now, that'd be great, Randall.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Like I said, slight over preparation because there's 5 slides. So as Mena has just said, my name is Sunny. I've been teaching this course for Programs for 50+. If you want to move on to the next slide. This course essentially came out of a professional development day thing that I did for student affairs here at TMU. That's my day job. I work with student affairs, and we did a Writing for Wellness session for them, and they essentially enjoyed it so much that out of that session, I developed a whole 6-week course around writing for wellness. And the original exercise that I did for the professional development day is still part of this course. We're keeping that exercise. So as you can see, the goals of this course are first and foremost your enjoyment. So it would be silly to do something for wellness if you don't come out of it genuinely loving the experience every single time. How we get to that feeling of enjoyment is both focusing on learning writing techniques and maybe practicing ones you already know, and then also at the same time focusing on physical and mental wellness that comes from these directed exercises. And my hope is that with the way that I've laid it out, you'll be able to take these exercises with you on your own for the whole rest of your life. So not only are you doing these exercises weekly together with the group, but they should be stuff that, you know, if you fall in love with one or two of them, they should be stuff that you are able to do on your own as well. And then next slide, please. So in case you want to know how the course is structured, it's going to be fully virtual. I'll have a Zoom classroom for us. It's an hour and a half long for 6 weeks. And I guarantee that there will be at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes of writing time in each week. So sometimes that might be broken up into sections and it might be very structured. And sometimes it might be, you know, a solid 20, 30 minutes of writing. So you're really making an investment of not only in learning these things, but also just like committing to treating yourself to solid, you know, half an hour of writing that you can do and just know that you don't have outside distractions. We're here, we're writing together. So most of the classes, I'll give you some information about how I came up with the exercise, what its intent is, and the science behind its connection to wellness. We'll talk a little bit about how to do the writing, and then I will take you through that guided writing time. And then I also have time saved at the end for both writing feedback and optional sharing. So if you're feeling shy and you're not, you know, you're new to writing with other people, there's no pressure at all to share your writing. There's lots of other ways we can share. We can share about how we felt while we were writing, you know, how we reacted to other people's writing, or it's totally fine if you just never want to share at all and you just want to be there for the atmosphere. That's totally fine as well. Again, the intention is for your enjoyment first and foremost. And then I'll also send you a copy of the slides after every class so that by the end, you'll sort of have like a little workbook of 6 exercises that you've tried before so that you can revisit them on your own if you want and take them with you for the rest of your life. And there's no extra website or homework that you have to log on to. We're just in the Zoom together every single week, and that's where the class is contained. I'll send you some optional readings. I won't structure classes where you need to have done the reading, but you know, if something comes up and you have an interest in reading more about it, that's more of the kinds of readings that I'll be sending. And next slide. Yeah. So I just wanted to give you a little taste of some exercises that we could be doing within those 6 weeks. So one is a little fun one that I actually came out of a different exercise I had, and then a student had another suggestion and we sort of workshopped it into this new exercise. So it's the future memoir where you're imagining a vacation that hasn't happened yet. And it's based on a few scientific studies about imagining futures. And then the list poem exercise is the one I originally did with student affairs that turned into this whole course. So we're going to be learning lots of different kinds of genres. You might have, you know, written a journal before, or you might have written reflections before, but maybe you've never written poetry before, or vice versa. So we're going to do simple exercises that build towards fun things that you might have never tried before. And I think you'll be pleased with the results.
Well, you can take a little rest like the rest of us.
Oh, was that a question? Or was that just an accidental unmute? Do let us know if it was a question, put it into the chat or unmute again and say it. But it sounded like not directed to us. So let me move on to the next slide as well. So I just wanted to also give you, besides a taste of what the course will entail, also some feedback that we've gotten the last few times I've run this course. So students have commented that the sessions were well organized. I provided positive feedback, safe space to share the writing, and always ended the class with a smile. So that hits, you know, the goals of the class. And then a different student mentioned that it was wonderful to write and also hear the writing of others in the class. And it feels like a kind of gift to feel safe enough to share and see others' insights. So the thing I want to draw your attention to is obviously your own writing and your own enjoyment will happen in this class. But if you've never done communal writing before, I think it will also be pleasant surprise how nice it feels to write with other people and know that they're there doing the same thing as you are. So that's the sort of thing you can't experience outside of like a workshop class environment. It's hard to, do it
He's
on your
thinking,
own.
get out of my.
So that's a good reason to join this class if you're at all interested. And then final slide is just my contact information. So it's just my Ryerson email. It's just my name, no dots, just sunnychan@ryerson.ca. So if you think of questions later or you don't want to say them in public in front of other people, feel free to email me anytime. And that's it for my part of the presentation. Thanks so much for sharing, Randall.
Thank you so much, Sunny. That's great, wonderful. And I just want to say that our next instructor, Jeffrey Canton, could not be with us today. However, we do have a slide presentation to share with you. Thank you, Randall. Pandemic, Fiction, Politics, and Prose, and the World According to Ali Smith. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a bio on Jeffrey Canton, introduction here. Jeffrey Canton has been teaching for over 2 decades, exploring issues and ideas that capture his imagination and that he loves to share. While literature is his passion, Jeffrey has taught courses about great chefs, parks and gardens from around the world, jazz and walking. He's taught for the Life Institute, the Baycraft Classroom, Learning Unlimited, Storytelling Toronto, and York University, where he was a founding member of Children's Studies program. Jeffrey has been a storyteller and spoken word artist since 1986 and is also the children's book reviewer for the Globe and Mail. Jeffrey has forwarded us a presentation. If we can just slide through the presentation, that would be great, Randall. So this is Jeffrey Canton, and his course starts, Pandemic Fiction Online, starts September the 29th, and it ends on October the 20th, 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. So if there's any questions about this course, please reach out to Programs for 50 Plus at ryerson.ca, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. And I think we're going to just slide through. Is there in the Politics and Prose Online, October the 27th to November the 17th, 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. Next, I think, and that's it. Alrighty then, thank you very much. And so that concludes, if there are any questions for Clara and I, we're here if anyone wants to unmute and ask those questions at this time. Any questions about the courses, or a question for Sunny?
What are the dates for Sunny's course?
I believe the first class is Wednesday. Okay, so the dates are always Wednesdays at 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. It runs for 6 weeks straight. So I believe the first course is next Wednesday, right? Manna, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, Wednesday's the 21st. So every Wednesday from the 21st until 6 weeks from then.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
what about Voice Play Online? What are the dates for that?
Which course was that? The
Voice Play Online?
Okay, just give us 1 second. Claire will be right with us.
I'm muted. The sentence that's been said the most over the past 3 years, any sentence ever since. So Voice Play Online begins September 19th, and it runs Mondays from 12:30 to 2:30. And Scene Exploration also begins on the 19th, and it's on Mondays from 10 until 1.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Does anyone have any further questions for us at this time? Okay, so I would like to take the time to thank Sunny and Jimmy for taking the time to talk to us about your courses today. We've learned a lot, and I hope this is the same for our audience. For more information about Programs for 50 Plus and what we do and what we offer, please visit our website, Programs for 50 Plus at ryerson.ca. And now the most important thank you goes to our wonderful audience, our fall showcase, for attending our fall showcase today. And we look forward to seeing everyone in class. So thank you very much, and have a good rest of the day to everyone.
And if there are people who'd like to stay on just with Mena and myself with
Oh, yeah.
Greg's registration questions, we can also help guide you in registration. But I'll thank as well Jimmy and Sunny
Yeah.
for being here today. It was lovely to hear about your courses and to see you, and sounds like so much fun.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.